Okay, so hello, all you just beautiful people out there today. We are starting season two. I am Laz, composer, language lover, um, possible future dad. Don't know. And to you, Cody.
And I'm Cody, guitar enthusiast, worker of IT job, and guy who likes to hang out all the time in my office. And we're not
And
just across the pond, but we're across
across
the other
the
pond.
other pond, the show where we dip ourselves in chocolate for the cause.
For the cause.
Yeah, everything's for the cause nowadays, man. Like the other day, I was with my homeboys, and we are just like, you know, you know, gathering heat around the trash fire, and just kind of telling ourselves about what things that we could do for the cause. One of them was just eat gasoline. The other
Yeah,
one
pretty
was
good
just
option.
like, the other one was just, you know, lick everything. Like he saw some grass, he licked it. Then the other guy over there, saw like some gravel or something. He was like, "What would that do for the cause?" And he tried it, and lo and behold, it was so much for the cause. So like, just every day, just think to yourself, what can we do for the cause?
Okay, that's gonna be our life goal motto for today's episode. Season 2, Across the Other Pond, for the cause.
Yeah, for
Uh,
the cause, for the cause.
for
Exactly.
those paying
Okay.
attention, the cause is to donate to a cause.
Well, not exactly, because like the cause. I mean, like it can be that. Okay, yeah, it can be that. But the thing is about the cause, there's so many reasons. You have to ask yourself why, and then you have to bring yourself to the relationship between that why and the impetus to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be
Because
honest,
you have a
I've
cause,
completely lost the
and
thread.
then wait, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. It's 因果关系. So it's you got a cause, and then wait for it. Wait for it. You got a fucking effect. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like we
Maybe
really buried the
I
lead
should
here.
bleep that out actually, because like was it YouTube takes that out.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah. We're
punishes you
not
for
supposed
that.
to. Right?
But
Shit, I forgot we're gonna be on YouTube, so we're supposed to not swear in the first minute.
yeah,
It's
I'll
been
just
longer than a
bleep it
minute, though.
out.
I
So
think, right? Right?
well, oh yeah. But
Maybe.
anyway, what is it? In other news, um before we get into our topic today, which is talking about like New Year's resolutions, even though it's like 3 months
Yeah.
into the year already, and like new things we're hoping that can happen in 2021. In other news, I am someone that enjoys reheated lasagna where the middle is still partially cold. I
You're a
like
fucking
that.
monster. You're a
I
fucking monster.
love it. I love it. I don't know why the consistency of it being warm on the outside and cold on the inside. It's a delicacy for me. Like I can't. Maybe it's because I was like tortured as a child with that. I don't know.
You
Like
had that
because
because
like
I mean I understand that because lasagna is really hard to reheat. It really does just get
mm,
extremely molten hot on the outside and then like lukewarm in the middle if you get it to a full like heated temperature. So I
no,
understand
I
this
don't
happening.
mean even lukewarm.
I
Like
know you
kind
don't
of
mean
like
that, but if
on the
you
border of like kind of still kind of refrigerator cold. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
I
know what you're
like
saying.
that.
What I'm saying is that
It's
you can have
nice.
this happen by accident a lot because when you get it to those molten temperatures, it's barely lukewarm in the middle. The key to
Mhm.
lasagna is you really just gotta mash it up and make it a paste when you reheat
Ugh.
it.
Okay, that is, see that you're the monster now. Like
I
you're
never do
you're
that.
you're you're journeying into psychopath territory now.
Honestly,
Like,
the way I eat lasagna now is we make lasagna soup, which is just lasagna in soup
well,
form,
I mean,
and it's
see that
delicious. You
it's
just
that's
put a
okay.
whole glob of ricotta cheese right in the center. So good.
Well, I'd have to try it. I'd have to try it. There's cheese soups kind of freak me out a bit,
I
but
mean, the
not
soup's
not
lasagna.
really. I
Lasagna
mean,
has
like
ricotta cheese.
you
Yeah.
say ricotta cheese, and it's like I don't know. It's just like because it's gonna be ricotta's like grainy. Do you want like grains in your soup
Are you
like
sure
that
you
from
aren't thinking
cheese?
of cotija?
No, ricotta's kind of like that.
No,
It's got that
ricotta is
kind
a
of like
very
weird
smooth
grain.
cheese.
No, it's got a little bit of grain to it.
I don't think so.
Like it's not like sand grit. It's kind of like it's got like
It's like
I
I don't
don't know,
know.
like a feeling of like little bubbles or something in it. But
Okay,
like
all right.
yeah.
I haven't had any
Anyway,
recently, so I kind of don't have it in my memory. But
well we had like a thing called mascacati or something like that. All these Italian
mascaccioli?
pastas. I don't know. It's like big old tube and then it's got like cheese
Yeah, it's
inside and then you got
mascaccioli.
the
Very Midwestern
oh. I loved
pasta
it.
dish.
Oh my god.
I've
It's so
only ever
good.
had it around here.
Mhm. Well, like, why don't we get into our topic then? Like,
Yeah, New
so,
Year's resolutions translating into goals at this point because it is March.
well, first of all, let's kind of talk about what our goals were last year, right? What do you remember your New Year's resolution from last year? I
I'm
remember
sure
mine.
one of them was exercise, and I think the other was go on little like travel excursions with my wife. Neither of which
Oh,
happened.
yeah, you became a skinny boy again. Like I remember, like the beginning of the year, or like the first when I first got back and I saw you, you were like you're starting to get to become a bear of a man. But then, like, what is it? A few months ago, like I went to see you and like you got back to your old noodly ways, but
Yeah.
like now you're getting that muscle back again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's see that's also the thing you gotta talk about with this is like we pretty much had to just step on the brakes with everything
Yeah. It's
last
basically,
year.
I honestly count 2020 as a gap year at this point. It just,
Mm-hmm.
none of that really happened. March was forever. March was like a whole year by itself. April to November
Mm-hmm.
is just a blur of like
Mm-hmm.
being in the house. And then
Yeah.
after November, I think it cuts a little bit insane. And then we're in March again, and it's very strange to be like, "Hey, look at what happened a year ago." Like, because like photos and
Mm-hmm.
stuff will dredge up old memories and things, and be
Uh-huh.
be like, "Here's where you were a year ago." It's a picture of me in the house. I'm like, I don't care.
Oh
I don't want to
yeah.
see that photos. I don't care.
Oh my god. Like I remember when we first got back and we were like quarantined for 14 days and oh my god. It was just the worst thing ever cuz well, I mean it wasn't too bad. I kind of liked I sometimes I like having an excuse to just stay inside.
Yeah,
Um, just be a bat for a while and just kind of like huddle in the bat cave and then just kind of like a whole bunch of like that feeling of just like being a kid and just being wrapped in a whole bunch of comforters and whatnot.
yeah, dude,
Like
sitting there watching a
like
film, just hanging out.
yeah, dude, that was and it just be and just like not showering is just like such a nice feeling sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
I know like
because I love to take showers, but I understand the feeling of just being like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that today, and I'm gonna feel
well
like great about it.
yeah, like cuz like sometimes if you just want to like really go into the whole like completely just I don't care mode, then just like take don't take a shower for like 3 days and
Yep.
just kind of soak into your own
Wear the
cesspool. You know,
same
it kind
pajama pants. I change shirts because I don't sleep with a shirt on. But if I'm in one of those slovenly states, I'm in the same pajama pants for 3 to 4 days.
yeah. See, like sometimes it's good to just like hit rock bottom for a while, just to like let it kind of all go out, and it's just like I don't need responsibility, and responsibility doesn't need me. You know, like
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that's the reason why people get like completely just shit faced drunk, right?
yeah
Like, I would
that
imagine.
it really was really strange that first month that we went into lockdown style, and it was like, all right, it's gonna be 2 weeks. Then we're gonna be back to doing stuff. So it was like being like,
Hmm.
okay, we gotta just stay inside. Makes sense. Like, like I remember us discussing the amount of times that the lawns got mowed
What?
during
I don't remember that.
your dad mowed the lawn like twice in 2 days.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. I
It's just such
remember.
a, just a because I did that. I'd be like work from home. I'd be like lunchtime. I'd be like, I guess I'll mow because I don't want to do it in the evening, and the lawn is still growing. It's not quarantined, so I'll mow in
Uh,
the middle of the day on a
well,
Tuesday.
it was just funny to me. I don't know why. Like I guess my dad was just so bored he didn't know what to do. Like it was funny. It was the only time that I've seen him with a full beard. And I like him with a full beard. I don't know, like, because if you look at our wedding photos and like taking a picture with him and mom, like, yeah, he's got the whole Grizzly Adams face carpet going on. But like, what is it? It was just funny. One day we were just sitting in the basement, and like it was like, okay, the first time that we heard the mower, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, nothing interesting, whatever. But then it's like, then at like 3 o'clock it started again, and he just mowed the exact same places, and I'm like, wait, what? Is he that bored? Because I mean, like, he literally just retired, so he was just like, I guess he was just trying to find
Yeah, he's
something
like,
to
I don't
do,
have to
and like,
go to work. I don't have to worry about the job at all. Like the way that
like
everybody has to transition to work from home at this point. It's just kind of like, I need something to do around the house.
I know. I think just everyone went. It's kind of a little insane last year a
Oh yeah,
bit.
100%. There were so many videos and stuff of people making bread. Bread was a big thing on like Twitter
Oh,
and
I
stuff.
I made bread.
Yeah,
I
it
made
was fun
bread.
to
I
make
made beer
bread.
bread. That was good. That was good. Beer bread is good. Like I did the whole grandma's recipe kind of thing. Like grandma's edit to the recipe. I was like, this calls for 1 stick of butter. I'm gonna put two. And it was
Slap
good.
that
It
butter in
was
there.
good.
What were
It was
did we
good.
go over what your goals were yet?
Yeah, like my single goal for last year was to be more 精致. I forgot how to say that in English. It was like detailed about things.
Okay.
I was really inspired by, and I have been for so long, like um Japanese people able to make everything so detailed and so intricate in pretty much every aspect of their lives. So I just wanted to try to do that more, like especially in my music and whatnot, and in my life in general. And I think I got to that somewhat, but this year, like, I don't know, with everything with the move and whatnot, it's also I've kind of like
It's a lot of
relaxed
chaos.
on that a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a chaotic year, and you know, I've let myself go on some things, but like I'm still moving forward with, like composition business and like I don't
LazTheComposer.com.
know.
No, LazarusRichardson.com. All your
Yeah.
composition needs.
Yeah, if you need especially JRPGs, any kind of adventure RPG, that's kind of like what my thing that I like to do so far. Um but yeah, hit me up. Like the website's a little like it's under construction kind of still, but you can still contact me. Anyway, like so how about this year's New Year's resolutions? Did you we I don't think we told each other our New Year's
No, not at
resolutions
all.
this year. Uh-huh. So what's your New Year's resolution this
So
year?
I have split. I have a couple of general goals. My New Year's resolution a singular one is gonna be read one book a month. That's if I was on New Year's, it would be that at least one book a month.
Hmm.
Because I find
At
that
least.
I'll like start a book and then I'll stop reading it for 2 months and then I'll get back into it. So I find myself not being consistent. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
guarantee one book a month this year.
Hmm. Okay, cool, cool. That's a totally doable goal. I mean, like you also like to read pretty thick books, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I just
I mean, the
finished
rest of noise.
the Alex Ross one. I mean, your Zhuangzi is much smaller, which is great. That's going to count towards my
Yeah.
my April book, but I'm going to count
Hmm.
Dao De Jing probably as the same book.
Hmm. Well, I
Not that
mean,
they're the
they're
same. They're
very
very
different.
different.
They're very
That
they're very
I
different. But
finished
they,
the introduction of Zhuangzi and that whole thing. Yeah, I'm not saying they're the same book.
mhm. Well, I mean, yeah, we can do a whole other
Yeah, for
podcast
sure.
about
This is a
that
philosophy
actually.
episode topic, but
Yeah, once you get on that, once you get done with those, like we could totally do a
yeah,
podcast on that.
absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah. So like any kind of books in particular or
I
just whatever
really
you want.
want to I want to enhance my philosophy vocabulary, I think, because I tend to have very
Mhm.
surface level um, knowledge of. I have approximate knowledge of many things,
Oh yeah.
but I would really like to actually add like reading of philosophy books to my repertoire. So,
Mhm.
Zhuangzi is the first one that's going to be on that list.
Yeah, get into Eastern philosophy. You can maybe even start. Well, I mean, like, there's so much Chinese philosophy to go through, you know.
Yep,
But I mean, you could get like a little bit of taste of all that, or you can do Western philosophy as
I'll
well.
probably flip back
That's
and
what
forth. I'll probably flip back and forth.
I've had to like pretty much get used to all the existentialists in Western philosophy, and some of the other ones. Like I've also kind of learned more about Kantian what is it, aesthetic philosophy,
Hmm.
and then because he talks about the sublime and how we as human beings like what is it, experience it,
Hmm.
and like but like one of my like one of the main lenses that I use for my analysis on Liu Cixin's novels is through Nietzsche, because like Nietzsche's the guy that, you know, God is dead and whatnot,
Yep.
and he
Thus spoke
and
Zarathustra.
yep, like especially in Liu Cixin's thing, like he has this thing where he always like is questioning where is are the Chinese people going to get that religious feel, you know, because like the sublime usually comes with some sort of like religious awareness, you know what
Uh
I'm
huh.
saying?
Yep.
Because like if you don't have like a higher power or whatnot, then like where is that um feeling of like I'm so small gonna come from? But like the thing is, China, there is like that kind of religious feel in Chinese philosophy and stuff. Like even if you read like the first part of Zhuangzi, which I don't know how to say it in English, the Xiao Yao You, like
According to
the first chapter in
this,
there,
it is
like free and
free and
something
easy
wandering.
wandering.
Oh, okay. Free and easy wandering. Okay, I don't know. That doesn't sound as cool as Xiao Yao. Like it's such a different. I don't know. Xiao Yao
I was like,
Yu.
you've read Zhuangzi in the original now, right?
Well, I
Like
haven't
in
read it
Chinese.
all. Like I've read like I've completed like a what do you call it? A short version of it.
Okay.
Like
Like the
but
seven
like
chapters, the inner chapters.
well no,
You know,
no,
we should
it's
really
just like
save this for like a
selects.
whole philosophy
Yeah.
episode.
I mean, yeah, it probably. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like we can totally do that for another one. And with your book, so you're going to do more philosophy. You can also check out I really like what's his name, Kierkegaard as well.
Kierkegaard.
Kierkegaard's also really interesting. Either or
I say I really want to grab. I
um
like Nietzsche. Well, like Nietzsche. That's
mhm,
one that's on my list. Nietzsche. Um, John Stuart Mills. I think because I like utilitarianism.
mhm. Yeah, that I've read a little bit of John Stuart Mill's as well. You
Um,
can even, I mean, it depends on what
I'm
things
definitely
you're
gonna
really
grab.
interested.
I'm debating whether I want to grab the Analects. I don't
Hmm.
know if I really want to read about Confucianism, if that's high on my list or not.
Well, I
Oh, I
mean,
want to
it
grab some
depends.
Buddhist texts.
Oh yeah, like there's actually a really good book about understanding Buddhism without the lens of Western philosophy. I forgot what it is. It's by an Indian dude. Like, but I don't remember because like Indian names are so hard for me. I feel like his name was Gupta or something like that. But like it was a really good listen. At least I listened to the audiobook. Then the other one, just like to get the story of the Buddha through like a Western lens, even though it's not like a super like um accurate picture of it, I still enjoyed it a lot. It was this book called Siddhartha. Like in like it's written by a German guy.
Okay.
But like it's a I don't know, it's almost as like mind opening as The Alchemist for me. It was a really good story. Um if you can get anything from it, you know. But Siddhartha is actually the first name of the Buddha. You know,
Yes.
he's like Siddhartha, and I think his last name was something that started with G. Um, but yeah, that was a good book as well. But yeah, like I've also read some of the Buddhist texts in like Chinese, like one in like both like with like the modern Chinese translations and the old Chinese. Cuz like
Very cool.
those were like r- translated long ago. Like
Yeah.
wow, like thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, like 2 3 thousand years ago, you know.
Yeah, probably in
Um,
I mean if it came even around the same time as the Zhuangzi, it'd be around like 200 or 400 BC to 200 AD, I think, in that Han
I think
Dynasty area.
Zhuangzi is, well, they were more like before Han Dynasty, because before the Han Dynasty, yeah, it was like I think it was like 200 to 300 AD. And then like before that, like around like Confucius, like Lao Tzu, Zhuangzi, like, but I mean they had like hundreds of years apart, but like they still are known as the 春秋 时期. I don't know how to say that in English. The summer and I mean
Spring and
the
autumn
spring and
period.
fall. Yeah, the spring and autumn period.
722 to
Yeah.
481 is when that is, which I'm
Okay.
guessing
Yeah.
is
I knew
BC.
it was
Yeah.
like 500 BC, but I didn't know exactly. But like yeah, like that period like a lot of Chinese like philosophers will go back to that period, or like the periods that you usually see them going back to is the Song dynasty, you even the Ming dynasty, which was in like the six, like before the 1600s, like I don't know, like there's Song dynasty, there's the Tang dynasty, especially
Hmm.
the Han dynasty, and then you also go back even further, the Zhou dynasty, which is like one of the ancient dynasties, which is the one that Confucius was really like, yeah, we need to go back to those times.
Yeah.
But then Lao Tzu goes even back farther. He goes back to Yao Shun. He always talks about Yao Shun, which Yao is one of the ancient, like,
The Sage
legendary,
Kings. Yep.
yeah, the sage, that's a good way to say it, the sage kings, like the original like emperors of China, like Yao and Shun. We're not even really sure if they were actual people, you know.
It's
They're
very
like,
similar to the Seven Kings of Rome in that
is it?
yeah, so there's according to legend, Roman legend, there were seven kings of Rome before there were no more kings. The first one being
Mm,
Romulus, who was the best king basically because he created Rome and did a bunch of fighting and
mm,
stuff and really established that they were gonna continue existing. And then
mm,
there were six other ones, but the last one is the worst one. He basically was a dictator and they killed him and were like, or they
Mm-hmm.
either killed him or exiled him, and they were like, we'll have no more kings in Rome. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when they started getting more democratic, and that's when you get the consuls and the tribunes and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty, I think, in the academic sphere, it's pretty assumed that they weren't ever actually just seven kings. They just had those seven were the names that were the most famous
Mm-hmm.
because there's so few times in history. I don't even think there are any where there are seven uninterrupted lineages, basically, of
Mm-hmm.
like kings without infighting or war. So it's assumed that really that it's a bunch of different kings, but those seven get all the credit.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, do they have like a legend about like how the kings would give up power to each other? Because like
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure all of Rome's kings either died
just kill each other.
or got assassinated, and then another one of their like children took over.
Mm-hmm. Because like like what's interesting about the early Chinese like legend of like taking power is like they would just they would always rang wei, shan rang, which it means like to give over to another person. You know, they would give the throne to another person, and it kind of reminds me of how you always talk about like George Washington. He was just like, yeah, I'm done with having power.
Yeah, he was like,
Let someone else have it.
we have succeeded in uniting America or in seceding from Britain. I just want to retire. We're like, well,
Uh
we need
huh.
you to be president now. And he was like, okay, I'll do that. After eight
Uh
years,
huh.
he was like, I don't want to be president anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't know. I just realized there's a little bit of overlap there because like you always talk about Yao like giving the throne to Shun and then Shun giving it to I think it was Yu, which Yu is like the he's they talk about Da Yu Zhishui, which is like the amazing story of him of his great civil engineering feat of like being able to stop the floodwaters from the Yellow River. And so then like everyone knows the story of Da Yu Zhishui,
I mean, he's the Yellow
which
Emperor,
is
right?
I don't no, he's not the
Okay.
the Yellow Emperor is like the original emperor of China. Like the
Oh, okay.
all the way back like the very first emperor. Um yeah, the
It's
Yellow
kind of
Emperor he's like
interesting to think about these similarities in those like founding father type figures in lots of other cultures because we're still pretty close in ours in the sense that it's only been like 240 years since
mm,
our founding fathers were alive, but it's
yeah,
already becoming a lot of people will
like
attribute things
legendary.
to, yeah, they'll be like, George Washington did this, but it was actually like a member of his cabinet or something, but it starts to get attributed to him because he's the big name. So it's interesting to think that like in 100 or 200 more years, we'll start to think that everything that happened in that first like presidential thing was all underneath George Washington's ideas.
Well, I mean that happens even today, right? With like artists and whatnot. Like you don't realize that a figure like Beyonce actually has like so many writers and
That's
so
true.
many people
Yeah. Behind the scenes doing all the work,
you
a
don't
lot of the
even
work.
think about the backup singers or maybe like the backup dancers or the people making the costumes for Beyonce. There's a lot of people that make Beyonce, right? But then when we see a Beyonce show, we don't think, oh, all these people. We think, oh, Beyonce, you know?
It's true.
I mean, like, but then even in that, like you said, through history, it's just going to be more of a magnifying glass on Beyonce. Like, it's the same thing with all of our historical figures. Like, we're not going to think like a lot of times when you think of like for instance the Civil War, you don't think okay like Lincoln or the gen or like you think Lincoln or the generals won the war or won certain battles. You don't think of like every single soldier that fought,
Yeah.
you know. So like it just always happens like that. Like we forget that giant figures are actually built on the you know on the support of the people,
Yeah. Standing
all
on the
around
shoulders
them.
of giants and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also that's Newton's thing about like like the old masters and whatnot,
Yeah.
everyone before him that built knowledge and theories that helped them make new theories, right? But okay, so we got your
Yeah. We got
thing,
a
you
pretty
know.
good tangent going there. Let's trade goals. What's your resolution this year?
So mine is also just going to be another simple one, which is I'm I really want to get better at yoga, or just in I want to get my health, like, exercise down. I want to be good at exercise. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right now, but I can't say that I'm like the best, like that my body is completely okay, cuz like look at me right now. Like I'm wearing this like belt here
Uh-huh.
because like my shoulder, I've had like a pinched nerve on my shoulder for like 5 6 years
Oh, so
already.
you got that back before you went to China.
And like it's been even longer than that, hasn't it? It's been like 6 or 7 years, and it there's a period where it was going away, and I didn't really have any problems at all. But it comes up every once in a while, and the thing is, if I do yoga like every day, I won't have any problems at all. Like and also sleeping on the floor too helps. Like beds over here are just too soft,
You
man.
think so? I got a pretty rough bed,
Super
I
soft.
think. It beats me up at
Well,
night.
like,
It depends on the
but
bed.
in China, the beds are like it's pretty much the same thing as just like putting one blanket on a carpeted floor. You know, that's what.
Okay, so they're like rocks. They're like
Well,
did you ever do like a prison walkthrough when you were younger?
no.
No, I think I can't remember what state I did that in, but they took us through and they showed us like the holding cells and stuff. That when you
Uh,
say a blanket over floor, that's the type of bed that I'm thinking. Just a little bunk that is
uh,
just a hard piece of foam in the
I
blanket.
mean, like the thing is that when I first like got over there and I was sleeping on that, like it was horrible. But like I got used to it, and then like actually all of my back problems and my shoulders problems went away. Like I like because like over there, like all the Chinese traditional doctors all say like you want a hard mattress, and you only want like a pillow that's about 1 or 2 inches thick, you know.
Okay.
Like they pretty much just want you on a flat plane while you're sleeping, which I'm traditionally like a side sleeper,
Hmm.
but like I kind of forced myself to become a back sleeper as well, and it paid dividends, man. Like my back and shoulders got better. It's just now like the beds over here.
They're
I
messing you up
like
again.
being Yeah, they're best because like that was the thing that messed me up before too. Like the beds over here are just so soft, man. Like they just mess with my body. Like and actually I prefer to just sleep on the floor over here now. I'll just put down like 2 or 3 comforters,
Hmm.
and then have like a comforter or two depending on how cold it is inside. And yeah, I'll just sleep like that. I'm completely fine. So I'll save money on beds, I guess, in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's
Or
just like
maybe
getting
I'll
like a futon.
yeah, like I want to get in the future I want to get a futon, like a real like actual like Japanese futon,
Yep.
the traditional one. That would be really cool. I would in the future I really want like a Japanese style house. Like
I really
I
like their
love
aesthetic.
Japan.
It is really cool.
Mhm. But yeah, like see, and then the other thing with this, like I want to get better at yoga. I want to get all this. At least my stomach problems are going away now. Like I don't know what happened. Like I don't really have IBS problems anymore. Like so that's one
Maybe you
thing.
just
One
unkinked
kind
your
of
digestive tract. Maybe you just have a long intestine now. It doesn't actually do the
I
the twisting
I
and
have
turning.
no
It's just one
I
long
have no
intestine.
idea, man. Yeah. Maybe it like cuz like it does what is it? Yoga does help like IBS so much, but like what is it? Yeah, I also want to get good at some martial art as well.
Oh,
Like
that's
right now it's
interesting.
kind of hard to find like a class or something, but like I've been really getting interested in staff fighting. I
Interesting,
want
like
to
with a
learn how to
bow
use the
staff, like
yeah, like a bow staff.
Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I've never I wasn't a Teenage Mutant
You are a
Ninja Turtles
Teenage
kid.
Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. You don't like the Renaissance
Well,
painters
well, I
being
told you, didn't
ninjas?
I tell you this before? Like there were certain cartoons when I was a kid that um I would just look at once and I would be like, that art style is ugly, and I just wouldn't watch it.
Oh yeah,
Like
I mean I understand that
like
for sure.
Cat Dog, the Angry Beavers, what else? These are all what is it? Rocco's Modern Life. Like these are all shows that I would be forced to watch at the waiting room at the
Yeah,
pediatrician's
yeah,
office.
because they aired on Nick, but yeah, they all
Mm,
had that same. I feel like it's
like
like
weird, ugly
clip art
aesthetic.
style aesthetic.
Clip art. Like I thought it more as just like this weird ugly aesthetic. But like there were shows with the kind of an ugly aesthetic that I did like. You know, SpongeBob sometimes can be no, not really actually. I would say Courage the Cowardly Dog actually is
Yeah.
more like that. And actually even to this day I say that cowardly. It should be cowardly. Like I when I was a kid I had well actually now that I think of it, when I was a kid I had speech problems and I
Oh,
actually
you
went
think
to a
so?
speech therapist.
Oh,
Well, no, I
cool.
actually went
You
to a
know so.
speech
Yeah.
therapist when I was a kid. Yeah. And like I don't remember when I stopped, but I think now that I think about it, I never thought about this, but I have a lot of weird words that I say really weird, like completely different than other people. Like like EMPTY. How do you say that?
Empty.
Say it again?
Empty.
Yeah, you go empty. I say empty. I
Oh.
use an F. I use an F. I've never heard anybody else say it like that.
I have
Empty.
also never heard it. I also don't think I've even picked up that you've said it like that. Have we never said the word empty?
I don't know. I mean, do you feel that the friendship between us is empty? No, then
Definitely
we
not.
probably never
Our
said it.
friendship is full of friendship
Full.
juice.
Yeah. And it just bursts out into the world. But like, there's what other word? There's like certain words that I just skip over weirdly. And then also like I don't know, I probably have like brain damage or something. I don't know. But like it's like from something. Maybe it's because they use forceps to get me out, and my mom said she accidentally dropped me once.
One time. Just one time. Not that big a deal. Just
Yep.
once.
But like I've noticed, like even in English, like I will when I'm writing, I will just skip over a word, just randomly. I don't even know why. Like it's like I'll be writing like the dog went to the park and ate a cat, you know, and then like I'll take out like one word out of that. Like it'll be like the dog went to and ate a cat. Leave out park for some reason. I won't even notice it.
I've done that.
I don't know
I feel
why.
like that's just kind of our brain, like thinking faster than we write or type or any
Mm,
kind of thing. Where you just, because I've definitely looked back at texts and been like, I didn't send the most important part of that message. That like I
mm,
didn't send the object of the sentence, so the
mm.
sentence doesn't mean anything now.
Yeah,
Like I either had that, or
like
you do the double and where you and your
mm,
brain just skips over that second and.
oh, I saw that. Like that's like an illusion. I
Yeah, that's
remember
like
that.
it comes across on like Facebook feeds all the time, but it is a true phenomenon of you just skipping words.
Mm, yeah, like I mean, like um, I just tend to do it in both languages. Like I do it less in Chinese, I think, because I'm more focused.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like I've noticed once I get started getting really fluent in the language, that's when I just start skipping words.
That's really
Cause
interesting.
like
I was gonna ask that if
or
you've had the same issue in the second language.
well, because like when you're first getting used to the language, you're like hyper focused on everything,
Yeah.
right? But then later on, it becomes just like English, where you just kind of like randomly say things, and you don't have to think about what you're trying to say, you know. So like it's a completely. I mean, it's pretty much just like speaking English, really, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, you translate thoughts into words instead of words into another language.
yeah, exactly. Which, like, you know, it's such a weird point to get to when you start like speaking a language, and then you get to a point where you forget that you're speaking a foreign language.
Yeah.
You know, you just speak, you know. And actually, with learning more languages and whatnot, you get to that point sooner with every language, because like you get more comfortable in being uncomfortable with not knowing everything, you know.
Uh-huh.
Like
I mean, yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely like the biggest hurdle of learning a second language is being like embarrassed in your own brain that you're having a hard time saying words.
Well, I say it in a more down to earth way. I just like be comfortable being a complete moron, you know? Cuz
Be
like,
comfortable being the intelligent equivalent of a toddler.
well, yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, think about a toddler. Like, does a toddler care like like that it makes any mistake, you know? Like was it like I saw an adorable video of like this guy's kid that couldn't say the word bucket, and so he had four kids with him, and it's like, okay, let's go down the line, say bucket, 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 and then he comes to this little sweet little like 2-year-old girl, and she's just like, say bucket, and he's like, fuck it. And it's like, wait, what did you say? Fuck it. But like Peter's little brother used to do that too. Like,
I mean, those aspirated letters, it's just so funny to try to
well, like,
talk about that stuff.
well, like I remember like he couldn't say the word fork or truck. Like, so he would be like, I would be like, hey, like, what are you using to eat your spaghetti there? And he's like, a fuck. And then he was like, "Hey, it looks like that package from Amazon is here. Like, what did they bring it in? What is the vehicle they use there?" And it's like, "Oh fuck."
I love the word fuck. I specifically remember laying in bed with my mom when she was reading me something, and I turned to her. I was like, probably 4. I remember turning to her, Mom, what does fuck mean? Just looking at me, just we're not gonna talk about that. Just don't say that word.
I did I tell you the first time that I came in contact with the word fuck?
You probably have over the years. I don't remember it.
Well, it was like, I think I was in second grade when they used to have, and I don't know if they have it in every class, but they used to have conduct sticks, like little popsicle sticks with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or A, D, A, B, C, D, F, you know, for your grade, conduct grade for the day.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and so they would take away like them one by one, or if you did something really bad, they would take away like 2, you know, and like,
Gotta get rid of those gold stars.
So like one day we were just having like, I guess like a group bathroom break or something. I think there was a time in elementary school where they started trying to implement group bathroom breaks, and like so they could like,
keep you corralled and not have you guys all individualistically using the bathroom.
Yeah, because I think some kids went in there and just were like fucking around because like they didn't want to do class.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like I was just sitting there like peeing at the urinal, and I was just looking around because like, you know, you get bored when you pee, right? So you just like looking around at the bathroom wall, and there's interesting words kind of written there, and I'm like, what is this one? This is an interesting one. I've never read this one. The teacher never taught us this one. It looks like it starts with an F and it ends like luck. And I'm just like, fuck. And then like, I remember like, I was like the last person in the bathroom. And then like my friend was just like coming by the bath, like the entrance to the bathroom, and then he just heard me say that, and he just like instantly turned, just like like, and then just booked it to the classroom, and he told on me.
What a narc.
and then I went back confused. It's like, what's happening? And then the teacher came up. I was like, what did you do? You can't say that. And then she took away all my conduct sticks that day. Like, I got to an F that day.
And I was ridiculous, because it doesn't mean anything.
I was so confused. I was like, what did I do? I just learned a new word. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? You know? I was just like, I didn't know what was going on, and she wouldn't tell me why.
Elementary school had that, like, or I'm talking like both of us in general, is just that attitude of, if a kid says something they're not supposed to, don't explain why it's bad. Just punish the kid for no reason.
Oh, dude.
Where they learn is, I guess I'm not supposed to say that word.
Well, you know, like and even now that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is like people being like, what is it? Contentious, like, especially like people older being contentious to people younger. You know, it's like, even if they know more than them, like they'll act like they don't know more than them, and man, that gets at me so much. Like,
it's like a strange attitude where life experience trumps knowledge, which isn't the case.
Yeah, like it not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily. Sure, it can, but for the sake of our argument, we don't want it to be that way.
It's getting less and less that, because there's a lot of people like in the older generation that doesn't learn how to use the technology we have now. You know, I mean, it's not all, but it's a big portion. You know. I can't tell you how many times I have had to explain to some people how to just change the inputs on the remote, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but what is it? Yeah, like, that's just like one of my biggest pet peeves. I get very, very angry about that, to be honest. But, yeah, like, well, anyway, like, after that story, like, then there was the time that my buddy Peter finally taught me what all the swear words meant, because I didn't know what swear words were before 3rd grade. And I told you this story, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Like, and I might have said it on the podcast before, but I'm going to tell it again, because, like, I love it.
Indulge me. This is season 2. Revamped, baby.
Like, yeah, like,
we're
Peter,
new. Don't listen to the old episodes.
Especially when he was, like, Peter, especially when he was a kid, he was just the most happy-go-lucky kid you can possibly think. He would be like one of the kid, like, we were both kind of the same when we were kids. Like, both of us were just like, just blurting out random words. Like, we would get caught on like one word, like, I don't know, like, chubby cakes was one of them. That was a funny thing, because, like,
chubby cakes,
like, that came. Chubby cakes is really it's just flour and butter, and you put that together in this horrible mix into the microwave, and it just becomes a blob of dough, like a blob of hard cooked dough. and you add all the food coloring you can find to it, and that's chubby cakes.
This is a nightmare.
But you know where that idea came from? It was a recipe for sugar cookies from a Blue's Clues book. The absolutely worst recipe it's that I've ever found. They didn't even try. I went by the recipe exactly. They didn't put sugar in their sugar cookies. I guess they forgot to. They forgot. They didn't get the memo.
They did that thing where you forget a word. They did that thing where you forget a word in the whole recipe, though.
Well, I guess they just thought the sprinkles were going to substitute the sugar. But, like, I made those things, and it was just flour with sprinkles, man. That was what it was. So it inspired chubby cakes. But see, like, that would be just like one weird thing we would just get caught on, just like chubby cakes. Or there was also puddick. I don't know what that was, like pudding, but like with dirt in it or something like that. Or there
Good
was
old
other
mud
things
cakes.
like, or like we
Mud
would
pies.
also do,
That's the phrase.
yeah, mud. See what we would do when we were kids. What we would do when we were kids. It was great. Like we would get a giant bucket, like the size of one of us, like a small toddler. And we would just find everything in the yard to put in it. And we would call it chocolate. We would call it chocolate poopy poop. That's what we would do. We would okay. The main ingredients was always dirt and chocolate. You had to find the chocolate.
You had to
for the
find
chocolate.
some chocolate.
Yeah,
Like
you had
legit,
to
or are you
find
talking like more dirt?
like legit chocolate? Like we
Oh my
would
God.
sacrifice our like Halloween candy, or usually it
To
was
the
Easter
chocolate
candy
poopy
because
poop. Your
yeah,
parents must
it
have
would
just
be
been
the
like,
Easter.
wow, what a mistake.
It was usually the Easter candy because that was when it was warm outside to go
Right,
out
and
and
it
make
was
the
getting
chocolate
muddy,
poopy poop.
April, early April. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all muddy and rainy
And so
stuff.
like, and then for the mud part, you would have to find the stankiest mud you could, which was usually by the lake, you know, where
Yeah.
like there'd like you'd have to be really careful with the mud because there would be a whole bunch of hooks like stuck in there from
Jesus.
people like
How does anybody
Yeah.
survive their childhood? I think that's shit that I did. How are we even alive?
But yeah, it was great.
Oh,
Did you eat
I
mud?
remember just no. I never. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. That's not something I remember. But I just remember in Australia there wasn't really a playground at the school. It was called the bush, and it was literally just a forest on the school
We
premises
had
that you
something
could
like
play
that.
around.
We
in.
had something like that. We had something like that too.
And
Uh,
I cannot think about how many times I was in a tree, nothing below me besides the ground, like 10 feet down. Just
ooh.
could have fallen out, broken any number of bones. And many kids did,
Oh, yeah.
but it
Yeah.
didn't stop anybody from doing it.
hmm I mean, like we had a forest around as well. But like, yeah, like it was what we did. Like there was a few things we did. Like one thing was we noticed that like the space between the trees were all like they had these little ditches, and then they would like the branches would kind of like hug that area, so it made almost like a little domicile. And so we decided, okay, we're going to I think it was the time when like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out, because like remember in those games you could find like hidden bases
Yeah, little
and
secret
stuff
hideouts
and
and
make
stuff.
like
Yeah, it was a great
yeah.
mechanic.
And so we
loved it.
Yeah, we started doing that. We started like decorating them and whatnot, and like having our own houses and whatnot. And then one day, one of my friends found a secret stash of porn, just
Nice.
like
Porn in the
someone-
woods.
yeah, like because apparently that's a thing. I
Yeah.
didn't know it back then, but like when I was reading stuff on Reddit and people were saying like back in the day people would just hide their
I don't even
like
think
nudie
that-
mags in the middle of a forest, and it just so happens that they put them right by a elementary school. And then so after, it was the first time I think I saw like a picture of a woman naked, because like he like ripped out one of the pictures and like, check this out, and it was like just like bronze like suntan body, like blonde and like big boobs and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at that, I'm like, why is that cool? Like it's just a naked woman, you know? It's like, and then it's like it's like they just have the same things as us. They just, instead of a PP, they have a secret PP. That's what I told them.
Oh my
They just have a
God.
secret PP.
No, that's a rite of passage that is probably close to dying out at this point. Finding porn in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, because who's
I mean,
using paper porn now?
I mean, the other thing that we found in the woods was Black Widow.
Nice.
Yeah, that was when we were mining Squishy. Like what Squishy was like, because like in that place, what they did is apparently there was one year, I guess they put dirt over the old grass, and so the old grass became like this weird like under the dirt, it became it had this really interesting texture to it. So we like I don't know how many kids, like 10, 15 kids got together and started like digging it up and gathering it in piles. Because I don't know why. We just thought it was so cool, and we would make like little villages and stuff on the side of these little dirt cliffs, and we would just we were the kids that dug during recess.
Yeah,
right?
I did that for a solid year or two. Just
Yeah,
being the
like we
dig
were.
kids.
Yeah, we were really into it. We built it up little cities and whatnot, and like Squishy was like our currency. You know, we actually made like a little society. And one day we found cause like when people like the janitors or whoever there like cut the grass over there, like they put in these giant piles by the forest. And so one day we figured it out that there was these giant piles of Squishy in the forest, and it just so happens black widows love Squishy, and so we were digging it up, and then I just saw it, like I still see it in my mind's eye, clear as day, like a black widow just kind of like hanging upside down there, and being able to see that hourglass. Oh
Oh,
my
that
god!
red
Like,
hourglass shape. That's scary.
well, like when I was a kid, I knew about it, but well, no, actually, I don't think I knew about Black Widows at that point. And I just looked at it and I'm like, I just kind of stared at it. And then my friends were like, whoa. And then they're like, let's get away from it. And I'm like, why? I feel like that was a time that I could have died. like
Everybody
do you
has
have
those
anything?
moments. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm,
Um, I remember in Australia we had in our backyard we had it actually led into like a half nature preserve kind of thing. It was basically just a big forest in our backyard.
mm,
Like you'd go up to a fence and go in, and then you'd be in the Australian outback basically, or what felt like
mm,
that. One
mm,
On one of my trips out with some friends of ours, we found this gigantic anthill. Like
uh-huh,
it was absolutely massive. So
uh-huh.
as middle school boys, we decided it was a good idea to just keep beating on it to try to break it apart. We spent
Oh
weeks
my god.
attacking this ant colony. Like it would be
Uh-huh.
like a weekend trip. We'd just be like, "Hey man, we're gonna go out and hit the ant thing." But one of those times, I remember specifically hearing wild dogs barking, and I remember my friends
It's
we
like
looked at each other.
dingoes?
Yeah, like I don't. When I think about it in my mind, I'm like maybe it was somebody out with their dogs, like a person being out in the forest with their dogs. But our mind
Mm,
immediately went, "We're in the Australian fucking outback. Those are fucking wild dogs that are gonna come and eat us." We bolted
mm,
so fast. I remember just
uh-huh.
running and hearing these dogs and being like, "I'm gonna die out here in the woods. These dogs are going to eat me."
Wow.
Until I'm nothing. Because we would find kangaroo skulls out there.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like something wasn't killing things out there.
Wait, you were the one that told me like no, who told me that? No, oh, Jesse was telling me yesterday that in Australia, like like seeing dead kangaroos on the side of the road is as common as
Oh yeah, as common as deer,
like
100%. They have somebody come by in a
huh?
truck, grab the kangaroo outside the road, load back the truck, off they go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they will.
It's
They'll
just like
fuck
so
your car
weird.
up too. They're
Yeah.
if they get in it, their claws are not something to fuck with.
Mm.
We
Like have
almost
you
hit one time. No, it was a friend
mm,
of mine. Her dad almost hit one.
mm.
Pulled to a stop right in front of it. Kangaroo looked the driver dead in the face, fell over dead. Heart attack.
Oh my god. That's crazy. Like
Actually insane.
what so yeah, I just it's just hard for me to think of what life would be like in Australia because like there's like so many things that can kill you there. You know,
Yeah, they're not as common as people probably would lead you to believe, but it's definitely not
yeah.
out of the ordinary.
I mean, like, are dingoes like super dangerous?
I don't think so. They're just dogs.
I mean, like, I can't. Are they more dangerous than coyotes?
I would think so. Coyotes are a lot
Because
smaller than dingoes.
like
Dingoes
coyotes.
are dogs. Like big old wild dogs. Like
like
coyotes are
as
little
big as
small
like.
little like as big as a you remember my dog Ginger that we had?
Mhm.
She was like
Oh,
the
they would be
size
that
and shape
big.
of yeah, she was like the size and shape of
Oh
a dingo.
wow, that's big.
I have a picture at home of me standing next to one at the Australia Zoo.
Oh really?
Yeah, they just walk them around.
Huh? Because like yeah, I mean, you always hear people pretty much in jest talking about how they don't want to go to Australia because everything could kill you there.
Yep.
And you hear about like bird eating spiders and blue ringed octopuses and octopi, right? And then like rockfish was another one
Oh yeah.
that was like like I've heard that a sting from a rockfish is like one of the most painful experiences you can ever experience in life.
I have also heard that.
Uh, I mean, like, have you ever been in contact with any of like the deadly animals from Australia? I mean, there's also a lot
We
of scorpions over
had
there.
similar to black widows. They have, well, I think they were just called redbacks, but they're basically just black widow spiders in Australia. We had two of those in the bird aviary we had in the backyard, and I remember seeing
Mm,
those. They were like that big or something. I
mm,
remember seeing those. There were two of them, and I was like, I need to not be here
mm.
because I don't want to touch
Oof.
those.
That literally made like my like a chill go down
Yep.
my spine.
I
Like
don't
I'm
think we
actually
had any
not
other like deadly animals that I was attacked by quite a few birds in Australia. They were pretty mean to me.
like
Magpies.
a magpies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I've
swooped
heard
by
that.
several magpies as a child.
Uh,
They're not
but
nice.
you didn't hear anybody like anybody like get in trouble with like deadly animals.
No.
No, so it's just exaggerated then.
Yeah, I think for sure it's a little exaggerated.
Because like,
I heard about a
but
guy who
I
had a
always
magpie
hear.
take his eye out though.
Oh god damn! Like maybe it's the animals that you don't think about being dangerous being. Because like I think a lot of those animals like they pretty much just stay away from wherever
Oh yeah,
humans
they just stay
gather,
away from
right?
humans for sure. They are in the outback, like
Mm-hmm.
where there shouldn't
Oh
be
yeah,
people normally.
have you been to what like you were in Melbourne, right?
I was in Jererbambara, which is in New South Wales outside of Canberra, which is the
Okay.
capital. So
So
we
like
were
it kind of
pretty
like central.
yeah. But the
Yeah,
the
because
Australian that I met in Japan, I mentioned Jererbambara and he's like, "Where the fuck is that?" So
I
it's
mean like
still like
Australia is a huge
it's a big
place, right?
place. But I was like, "Yeah, it's next to Canberra," and he's like, "Yeah, I've never fucking heard of that city."
Canberra? Oh
No,
no,
not
no,
Canberra,
no, no, no.
Jererbambara.
Uh, yeah, I mean like there's a whole bunch of cities around in America
Yeah,
that I've
it's just
never
really
heard
funny
of, right?
because in my brain I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean it's next to Canberra. It's got to be like a big suburb, right?" No.
I mean, like, I really want to hear you like around Australians. Like, I want to see if you start talking like
I have to get my buddy to come visit. He comes by every once in a
like
while.
because like like I've been noticing it more and more. Like, especially that I'm like being out in the rural areas and whatnot. Like my my southern Illinois accent comes out.
Yeah.
I've been noticing like when I talk with my dad or people around here or like my grandparents especially like I'll start talking kind of like this and kind of be like yeah I'm just sitting down and reading some you know what yin's doing today like it feels just it sounds it almost sounds like I'm making fun of them like to other people but that's like just how I don't know like
Yeah, it's just
it feels normal to me, especially like things like sitting down, you say setting down,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
accents are so environmental. Because if
Yeah.
you ask somebody like, "Do you know you have an accent?" when they're first exposed to that idea, they have no idea. They're just like, "No, that's just how I talk."
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean like cuz like I don't know if I had it before. I think it was somewhere I don't know, maybe like somewhere in undergrad or something that I start really like paying attention to it because like it kind of reminds me of some how like some of my Chinese friends talk about them not being able to speak their dialects or like their local Chinese languages when they were kids, but then later on they would learn them kind of slowly and then be able to
Interesting.
speak them. Yeah, like a lot of them, like I remember one of my friends from Chenzhou, he wasn't able to speak Minnan before, like Hokkien, and they would call him something, and I forgot. It was like Bak something. Pretty much calling him a northerner,
Huh.
because like
Because he couldn't
yeah,
get that
it's
southern
a
accent
southern
down.
language. Yeah, he couldn't get like Hokkien down. Well, it's Minnan, but because Hokkien is actually the entire province really, which has pretty much 4 or 5 different types of mean language. But anyway, like I don't know, it just kind of reminds me cuz like I don't know if I spoke like my dad and my grandparents when I was a kid, but now I think maybe even subconsciously because of the political atmosphere, like I've noticed that when I speak like that to more like rural people, like they seem more welcoming of me because I have that background of like growing up around Southern Illinois and going down to my grandparents' house, and
Yeah.
you know
I get people like when they hear sounds that are similar to how they speak. It's just kind of natural.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when I speak Chinese, like I sound Chinese,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, um, and I hope like one day like I can do that for other languages. But anyway, like I was thinking like this last part of our podcast though, we also had a part that we wanted to talk about what we're hoping for this year.
Oh yeah,
You know,
we really got
we
sidetracked.
yeah, but we're talking about some good childhood memories,
Oh
man.
yeah, really nostalgic today.
People are gonna
People are gonna
yeah, you
eat this
guys
up.
like this. You
Feeling
guys like this.
nostalgic, dude. Tell us
But
your almost dead stories.
yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Let's see. Let's have a contest.
Oh,
Whoever gets it, I will buy you a $5 gift card to Chili's. You're going to be able to almost get one appetizer. You're gonna be able to get one like a half order of taquitos with that. Yeah, put that down. And I will do this. I will buy you a $5 gift card to Chili's. I don't care. You'll be able to use it this summer probably. So there you go.
Hell
That's one of my
yeah.
hopes.
Is that we're gonna
You know?
get
Oh,
we're gonna kick this
that
virus's ass.
I got my first shot today.
I'm getting mine on Thursday. So when this
Yeah,
episode comes out, I will be vaccinated.
well, are you getting? Do you know which one you're getting?
I'm getting the 2-dose one. I think
Okay,
it's
you're Walgreens.
yeah. I think it's probably the
Mm.
Pfizer one, right? Yeah.
Well,
They
Walgreens
have both
sometimes has
available.
Pfizer, sometimes have Moderna. I got
Yeah, they
Moderna.
have both.
Um, but yeah, like you do have some side effects, like, and they can be a little crazy. Like um, I it's a little sore. I feel a little dizzy, and I actually did pass out for a little bit there.
Really? Like
Like I actually
passed out?
like yeah, like hit the ground, everything went black, and then Fonfunk freaked out, and then ran over, and apparently I was out for like 2-3 minutes.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm fucking
fucking
with you.
thought so. I feel like that would have been like
No.
the first thing you brought up.
Oh, I should have taken it further though. Man, why did I miss that? But yeah, like but I've heard it might maybe tomorrow or like the third day, cuz like Bob was saying that it like on his third day after he got it, like he had like a little bit of chills and kind of like
Those like flu-like symptoms.
yeah, but like he said pretty much the second one kicked his ass.
Uh-huh.
Like, and that's what I hear most people say. Like the second one like makes them feel like they have the flu for a day or two. Like and that's kind of like what Fang Fang does too, like with the flu shot. Like she is pretty much out of commission for one day after.
Yep. I'm excited.
And
It feels
she'll
like
have
we're
a
living
fever and
through like some really cool medical stuff to be like part
yeah,
of
I
a
mean, I
part of
learned
a
a lot.
vaccine push. It's really cool.
I learned a lot this last year about vaccines and viruses and how they transmit and whatnot. Like it's amazing to me also, like this last year I've never been sick.
Yeah, this was probably my healthiest year on record.
Like, well,
in a long
I
time.
mean, besides like gorging on like way too much chocolate for me, but like, like, what is it like?
And those sweet tart jelly beans. There, I remember that phase.
Oh, did I
You
go
did.
through
You
that or
you had it for a little bit. I think because
when did I do that?
we were at my parents and they had like 2 or 3 bags of them.
Oh wait, yeah, I did. Like, and
It's
I
like I
just
just
ate
ate
them
all of
until I
these.
wanted to throw out. Yeah,
They
I
are
don't know. Like
delicious though.
sometimes
Sweet jelly
I
beans are
get into
dope.
don't. I mean, a lot of people probably get into this. They've been kind of like stressed out for a long time and been like super responsible and being like, I'm gonna only eat salads kind of thing. And then you get to a point where it's like, okay, I want to let everything down. I'm gonna take off like all the restraints. I'm going to have this entire bag of jelly beans. like sometimes I just need to let it all
You
out
just
in
gotta let it
one
go sometimes.
cathartic, just and I mean like, yeah, you just sometimes I just like to do that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's detrimental to my habits or if it's a good thing to be like, yeah, I shouldn't do that and then just keep going with it. But yeah, like for this year, I'm looking forward to May cuz that's when I'll like the full immunity should already be up by that.
Yeah.
And then Fong Fong will probably be getting her second one or probably around the mid May when she's able to get it. And then like or she might get Johnson Johnson somewhere time in the middle of April. We don't know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
like
just get a middle shot, just a single shot.
yeah, so like I'm hoping that things are going to start opening up more. I mean, like even with things opening up now, like I just don't feel completely safe to just kind of like go out a whole day to the zoo or whatnot now. That's kind of what I want to go back to the zoo. I don't know why. It's like
The
stuck
zoo
in
is
my head as
fantastic. We went a couple weeks ago. It's
the main.
fantastic.
Oh, did you?
Yep. We took a day over there.
Like
They
I
have
I
pretty
want,
good
but
they have pretty good social distancing stuff over there.
mhm. Well, like like I just want to have a fun, like don't need to worry about anything day at the zoo.
Yeah.
That's been locked in my mind for some reason.
I mean,
Like I
we
really,
have a
really
dope zoo.
want to go to
St.
the
Louis
zoo.
Zoo is super awesome. We were
Dude,
walking around. I
how
was
about
like,
the
all right,
four of us?
light or what was it? I was like, ancestry goal. I want to have somebody who makes enough money that they can get their name at the zoo, like a big exhibit,
Mhm.
somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
That's my
What?
ancestry goal or my descendant goal. I would be like, from
What?
day one, I'd be like, you're either going to make enough money to put stuff in the zoo, or your kid is going to
Mhm.
put something in the zoo,
Yeah, they're
and just
going to
completely
have the
ruin their life
slosh.
immediately.
You'll have the slosher hog pit. There's just gonna be a lot of
Yes,
hogs in the mud.
that'd be fucking
The slosher hog.
fantastic. Give me those wild
I like
hogs.
the sound of that. Yeah, and then you just like it'll just like have I saw like this like kind of like this redneck sign, like just like a stick with like a just a plank piece of wood, and just like in like horrible like red paint is just like $5 wrestle. You get a wrestle with the hogs in the mud. $5. Yeah, dude. Like let's make it a point to like go to the zoo together in like mid May or something. I think
Yeah,
that would
for
be
sure, dude. That'd be
fantastic.
super fun.
Or even another place that I really want to go to is like Union Station. Like I haven't been back there since they did all the
I'll say
renovations,
they've got an
and
aquarium over there now.
yeah, I want to see that too. Like so something. I've never been through the Budweiser factory either.
I have also
That's
never done
another
the
thing.
Budweiser tour.
Maybe we should do that together then.
That'd
That
be
might be
fun.
something like, yeah. But yeah, dude, like I'm hoping that these next few months people get vaccinated and things start really opening up. I can actually sit down at a restaurant and not feel like I'm, you know,
Just that
Like
sense of
in
nervousness, because I'm always like,
yeah.
I'm doing a pretty good job of like maintaining my health and being
Mm,
mindful of it, but then you
mm.
still just have that nagging feeling of like somebody could just like cough in my ear like a weirdo.
Yeah, like it could be like one little thing, you know. Uh-huh. Oh, oh, thank you. But yeah, like I just want to be able to go out, have a good time, and not have to worry about any of this shit. Like, like masks, um, like getting the virus, like, like anything. Like, I just really, really, and I probably speak for everyone. Like, I just want to go back to normal life and just be able to go out and do things besides
Yeah.
staying at home. But like the thing is, I do think this last year with the pandemic has given me and a lot of people opportunities to really reflect on their life and do some other stuff and like up some of their skills that they probably wouldn't have
Yeah, I've had time to do.
if you know. So like
I'm hoping
I
that
mean this last
more
year.
places do work from home stuff in terms of like,
Mm,
because for some people, I think it's a great work life balance to have work from home. It comes down to being able to separate your work life and your home life, even though you're working from
mm,
home. Because I know some people have a very hard time with that.
mm. I mean, I like giving my own hours and whatnot because like it I do well with that. Like I don't do well with a 9 to 5 thing. Like I
Yeah.
don't. It's just so hard for me to abide by other people's schedules.
I
Like
I
I
literally
like
can never see you in a 9 to 5 job. It's like it's like
I
if I picture you in a suit at an office, I'd be like, that is an existential nightmare that I'm
yeah.
in.
Like well
Is seeing Laz in a nine to
because like
five.
I need to make my own business. I need to do because like I'm willing to put more hours into myself. I'm willing to do like what is it? 6 in the morning to 9 at night, you know, or even do 5 to 9 instead,
I mean, if
you
it's
know,
if it's
for
something you like,
myself.
yeah.
Hmm. But if I'm
And
working for
that's
someone
why we're
else,
starting this
mm,
podcast fresh.
like that's one of the things, you know. But like,
2021
yeah,
goal: across the other pond is going to have 1,000 monthly listeners. You heard it here.
yeah, like that's probably doable. You know, we just gotta do a little bit of marketing and stuff and meet some more people, right? But yeah, like I'm just I have a lot of faith for this year. And cuz like I and didn't I before the pandemic happened, do you remember I actually told you on the podcast I had a very very bad premonition about 2020.
Yeah,
I
I
told
do
you
believe
that.
that's correct. I think that was
And
right in. It was either in the January or February episodes.
yeah, and I remember like even telling Fong too. Like I remember the day cl- clear as day, man. Like it was like I was in the back balcony of our apartment in China and like it's like in China like the place we had like the sink to wash dishes was outside. So we were like I was washing the dishes and I just remember sitting and just feeling this overwhelming just like horror about this coming year. I'm just like 2020 is going to be bad, isn't it? And I don't know why. I just had this unexplicable like horror of what was to come. But now like it's relaxed this last year. Like coming into 2021, even though there was a little bit of craziness in the beginning, um like all of a sudden I just like it's the difference like synesthetically between like an expressionist painting and just like, you know, the painting of like a painting of like the pearly gates and just like oh like it feels like 2021 is going to be a good year.
Well, I
So
think on that note, we can wrap up our first season 2 episode of Across the Other Pond.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to put an outro song here. I don't know what. I didn't think about that until now. Or it just could
Skiddly
go.
boop boop boop. Yeah, or just
Yeah,
cut.
maybe. I'm just going to make something jazzy. I'm just like random notes, and it's gonna be just like a cacophony of just that thing we all call jazz. You know, maybe free jazz. I'll call it free jazz. You know, it'll just be like, what is that Ornette Coleman song? Eh, I forgot. But anyway, yep.
Leave it in the
I
comments
guess
if you know what it is.
Yeah. But I
Hey, if
guess
you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You got to say that.
Oh yeah.
It's an important
Yeah,
part.
like comment and subscribe. Click that little bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Jingle bells, jingle all the way here to this podcast. And we are going to jump. Oh, also follow us on social if you want. But like, we are going to jump back in the pond, swim to the other side.
Jump back in the pond.
Mm-hmm. All right. See you guys.